And I know you emphasize the importance of healing the energetic heart space. Can you explain what this means and why it's so crucial for recovery?
Absolutely. But first, I just want to make a distinction because spirituality does not confine itself to any particular religion.
Right.
And Jesus happens to be the name that the Christian religion gave to the energy, which is the Christ consciousness. And what that means is unconditional love and acceptance. So there is an energy that was embodied by the historical figure that came by the name of Jesus, also Muhammad, Buddha. There are many different figures throughout time that have embodied this energy. So those of us who grew up Christian generally say Jesus, but it is all the same energy. It's that Christ consciousness. It's the love that surpasses all understanding. It is absolutely unconditional in its acceptance of you, and it will transport you from that place of depression to a place where you're able to operate in joy. So you are going to be working, when you work in the heart with the Christ consciousness, you can call it anything. It doesn't have to be called Jesus if you find that offensive. It works for me. Doesn't matter what works for you. You find what works for you and understand this energy here in the heart center is the Christ consciousness. And that simply means the light, the love, the joy, the peace, the absolute acceptance of who you are. And that, once you are in partnership with that, it is so easy to love you because suddenly you're not looking at what's wrong. You are not sitting there wagging your finger. Oh, look what you did now. You're so stupid. Ugh, I can't believe you did that. This is not going on because you're being infused with this incredible love. And instead, you are guided to say, whoa, you see that way that you speak to yourself, that way that is so condemning? Wouldn't it be more lovely if you were able to honor yourself instead? And so when you work in that heart space, they're with you, giving you choices, saying, hey, do you like the result of being so cruel and mean-spirited to yourself? Or are you ready to try a lighter, brighter, more loving way? Let's release this energy that's keeping you stuck in this negative pattern and accept in its place this energy that we represent, which is love. Find something about yourself that's good and dwell on that. We're never going to get there from the critical place. And I never understand. I began my career as a teacher,
Oh, nice.
and those children that I was assigned, this one particular pivotal year for me, were the ones that were going to fail. They had already been identified as failures. These are third graders. And this is when we're doing end of grade tests, first year, and everybody gets $1,000 bonus if these third graders can pass their test. Enough of them, doesn't have to be 100%, but most of them have to pass. So I got hired to help these kids transform their grades from F to C or B, preferably B, maybe if we're really lucky, A. Well, I thought I was there to transform their grades. They taught me that when I spoke to their heart and I saw them as worthy and as intelligent as and valuable, they could turn into children who could learn. It was so life-changing for me. But what was most interesting is I took that lesson and applied it out here, but I was still so condemning. I was like, how did I manage to only apply that to anyone I was interacting with? And when I got here, I would be like, well, that was a stupid thing you just did. It took falling face first in the mud, crawling around in the mud for a while, falling down again and again and again before I was willing to get up and say, oh, I really am tired of being a dirty. There's got to be a different way. So we are so good at fooling ourselves. And this energy is so perfect at guiding us into truth without ridiculing us.
It does. And you remind me, I actually was one of those third grade students too. I remember it was like my reading or something was off. And I was like, why am I in this small classroom? I had to excuse myself from my original classroom and go inside another classroom. Some of us and a couple other students in the class. And then we were just getting extra help with our reading. Yeah, but my teacher in third grade, she was evil. She was mean. So I did horribly. I think I was getting D's in there. And then it wasn't until my fourth grade teacher, Mrs. Singer, she's maybe listening to this right now. She's on my Facebook. But
Oh, we
I
love you.
yes, she's the one who changed my life. I remember she loved me and saw me like I can do more. And she made me have build that confidence in me. So I appreciate you teachers so much because you do make a big difference in our lives. And I remember I was getting honor roll from there, even though I was going through my other stuff and whatever, but I had honor roll until like my senior year in high school. So she was the one who made that big impact or created that big impact in my life. So I hold all the teachers dear in my heart.